Hey guys, in today's profile review, we're going to be talking about the 6 things top laners need to do to climb out of silver and climb out of gold in Season 13 or Season 23. These are: 1. You need to be playing enough games, enough ranked games. 2. You need to have a small champion pool. 3. You need to have a strong laning phase. 4. You need to be able to translate your early game into a strong mid game. 5. You need to focus on getting your kill participation up. And 6, silver, gold top laners are dying way too much. You need to reduce your deaths so you can have more impact on the game. Now, before we get into today's profile review, if you want your profile review just like this, please check out the link in the comments section below and you will be able to get and book your own free profile review. If you're also interested in the coaching solution I talk about towards the end of this video, where I basically lay out how to accelerate this guy's climbing from silver to gold to his goal rank of platinum, please also check out the links in the YouTube description below. I've got a link there where you can book a free call with me over Discord and we can talk about exactly what a coaching solution would look like for you. Let's get into the video. So currently you are a silver 1 player and your goal rank is to get to platinum by the end of next season. So in the next 10 minutes or so, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to improve and focus on to do that. So the 5 main things you need to focus on in order to climb out of silver for Season 13 or Season 2023, however you want to call it, are: 1, your volume of games. You need to be playing more games. 2, your champion pool. You're playing way too many champions. We need to narrow it down. 3, you have a strong laning phase. We need to continue to focus and build on that as it's your biggest in-game strength at the moment. So we need to make sure we're capitalizing on that. 4, you may have a mid to late game weakness because you have a really strong laning phase, yet a relatively low win rate. So trying to work out what's the problem there. And then 5th, your kill participation is a little low for top lane. Let's get into the profile. So your silver 1, you're trying to get to platinum. Those are the big 5 things you need to focus on. Let's go into the first one: volume of games. So for silver 1 players to climb to platinum, it generally will take you about 250 to 400 games depending on your win rate. If you average like a 60 to 65% win rate, you could probably do it in 250. But the average player, when they're climbing out of silver, out of gold for the first time, they usually average about a 53 to 55% win rate, which can generally take players up to 350 to 400 rank games to climb to their goal rank. So the first question you've got to ask yourself, Adam, is can you play enough games in a season to do that? 300 games is about 150 hours. So if you don't have that much time to invest in League, don't stress about it. Just make sure that you're aligning your goal rank to a realistic standard so that you don't constantly get disappointed each season because you just simply can't play enough games. League of Legends has become very grind heavy because so many players are playing so many games. I think the average ranked player plays about 200 to 300 ranked games a season. So if you're not up there, basically the system isn't going to reward you fast enough for you to climb to your goal rank. And last season, I can see you probably played maybe just over 100 games in a season. And, that's just not enough. You could probably get to like gold 2, gold 3, maybe with that many games, 125, 150 games. But it would be pretty difficult to climb much higher than that unless you get some insane win rate like 65 to 70% overall on your entire account. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is your champion pool. Obviously, you've been starting to play a bit more ranked recently. 10 days was your most was a bit late, but you've been playing a couple recently. And it seems to me like you're not playing your Yone anymore. And from what I can see from last season, it looks like Yone was one of your best performing champions, and I can also see that Vladimir was your best performing champion. So I can see you playing a little bit of Vladimir here, and obviously you've only won 1 out of your 3 games. But what I'd recommend here is looking at this champion pool, maybe because it was preseason, you wanted to test a few things, but it's not really appropriate for silver players to be testing champions in preseason when their goal is to get to platinum. So again, it makes me think, is your goal of getting to platinum actually aligned with how you're playing and how you want to play? Or do you just have that goal in mind for like no real reason? You've never thought about it. Now, what I'd recommend for someone like you, where there's clearly you've got some really good champions like your Yone and your Vladimir, but it seems like you're curious, right? You want to expand your champion pool. Maybe you want to play some new roles or learn some new champions for top lane in the new season. that's fine. You can do that, but I wouldn't recommend doing it on your main account, at the very least in ranked. You can do it in normals, you can do it in ARAMs, you can do it in customs because those don't affect your MMR. But when we're playing ranked on our main account, we want to be playing our highest win rate champions. Ideally, our champions with at least historically a 55% win rate or higher. Because if you don't play high win rate champions, you're going to lose too many games and it's going to affect your MMR. You're going to become hard stuck like last season, and you're not going to be able to climb. So a strategy I recommend to you, and I recommend to all players who are in silver looking to climb out of gold, gold players who are looking to climb out of gold to get to that gold rank of platinum, is the 2 ranked account strategy. Now what this is you have your 1 account for playing and climbing to your gold rank of platinum. So you're only playing your 55% plus win rates on that account, your champions that you have a plus 55% win rate. And then you have your second account, which is for everything else. So if you want to play with friends who aren't as good as you, if you want to have fun, if you're a bit tilted but you still want to play ranked, if you're trying out a new build, if you're trying out a new role, or trying some new champions that don't have a 55% or higher win rate for you currently, that's what your second account is for. And the beauty of this is you can play ranked on that second account as much as you want. You can learn, you can do whatever you want, but it won't affect your overall MMR, because the biggest problem, or one of the biggest problems silver and gold players have when trying to climb, is they waste too many games on their main account learning new things, trying new champions, playing tilted, playing with mates, and they don't realize just how big of an impact that has over an entire season on their ability to climb. So that's probably one of the biggest things that can fix your current gameplay. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is your laning phase, because you actually have a pretty strong laning phase here, particularly in the top lane. So 125 games, 53% win rate. You're averaging about 540 gold ahead at 15 minutes, which is a really good sign. Basically, this is indicating that you are much better than the average Silver 1 player in laning phase, but you may be having a bit of a hard time converting your lane lead into game leads, which is something I see with a lot of silver and top gold laners, is they struggle to know what to do next after laning phase. Now, it's a tough one. I can't solve it in this profile review for you because it could be a variety of factors and you need to actually get in the game and look through game reviews to understand what the issues are. But if you're interested in fixing your early game to mid game, late game transition, please, once you've watched this, message me on Discord and we can talk about exactly what a solution would look like for you. Now, the final thing that you need to focus on, because this is probably one of the key reasons why you're struggling to carry over your laning phase lead into your mid and late game, is your kill participation. So right now, I can see in your last 34 games, you have an average kill participation of 35%. Which basically means out of, so 65% of your team's kills, you have nothing to do with. Now, as a top laner, you're definitely going to be in less fights than, let's say, a mid laner, jungler, or support. However, I always tell top laners in silver and gold who are looking to climb to platinum, you need to be aiming for about a 43 to 47% kill participation, depending on your champion. If you play Shen, obviously your kill participation is going to be higher, but if you're playing a much more split push orientated champion like Tryndamere, it's going to be lower. That's why I give that ballpark. But you need to be getting your kill participation up, because the more kills you're in, the more impact you have on the game, which is really, really important. Actually, the final thing as well I want to add is right now you're dying way too much as well. 7.9 deaths on average, 8.2 deaths on average. Every death in League of Legends takes you out of the game for roughly 30 to 60 seconds, depending on the death timer and depending on the length of the game. So when you're dying on average about 8 times a game, you're out of the game for theoretically 5 to 8 minutes. And given that the average game in League of Legends is 30 minutes, that's almost like 25% of the game. You are not having any impact at all because you've died. So for a general indicator and something you should be striving for is getting your average deaths per game down to around the 5.5 mark. This indicates that yes, you're dying a bit, but it's a healthy amount. Everyone dies in League of Legends. You shouldn't be scared of it, but you definitely shouldn't be dying as much as you currently are, Adam. Now, what I would recommend to you in terms of looking for what are the next steps, I would highly recommend booking a free call with me, and we can discuss exactly what a personalized coaching solution would look like for you to go from Silver 1 into your goal rank of Platinum, because there's a lot to work on here. There's a lot of things to improve, and you can do some of these on your own, but for the ones that you can't, and honestly, I've coached hundreds of silver and gold players out into Platinum before, I can just show you basically the easy way to do it. I can accelerate your learning, and you're just going to get there faster with a coach. So if you're interested in learning more about that, Adam, looking at what a personalized coaching solution would look like for you to get you from Silver 1 to Gold 4 to Gold 3 to Gold 2 to Gold 1, eventually to your goal rank of Platinum and beyond, then once you've watched this, please reach out to me on Discord, and we can go about booking our free call there and talking you through everything that would look like. Anyway, mate, I think you've got a lot of potential here. I definitely think your Yon and your Vlad are your keys to climbing next season. There just needs to be some things worked on, particularly your early game to mid game transitioning, your deaths, and your kill participation. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this profile review. Cheers, good luck on the Rift, and I'll talk to you soon.